Yeah, I think we can start, Dr. Shirin.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, participant, and welcome to Module 6 of the HR Enrichment Certified Program organized by Abu Dhabi University. First, I would like to introduce my colleague of this session, Dr. Hamad Al-Odeba, the Director of Dubai and Al Ain campuses of Abu Dhabi University, and also Ms. Alison Hampton, the HR Manager at Abu Dhabi University. So welcome and have a nice session. Dr. Hamad.
Yeah, I think I have just a quick speech on behalf of our Chancellor, Professor Wakar. He asked me to give his speech. He is not able to come today because of an urgent matter. So on behalf of our Chancellor of Abu Dhabi University, Professor Wakar Ahmed, the deans of the colleges, faculty and staff of Abu Dhabi University, I would like to thank you for attending the Abu Dhabi HR Enrichment Certificate. I know you have many modules, 6 modules, and it was a commitment, and timing start a little bit late on the day, which again shows your commitment to this certificate. Abu Dhabi University considers investing in our community is a key strategic goal for us. Since May 2020, Abu Dhabi University has offered more than 150 free workshops for our community, students, parents, working professionals, and some are very specialized in areas that need attention. So more than 7,500 people attended these workshops since we started, and we had more than 120 faculty members has offered their time and expertise to design and deliver those certificates. The HR certificate alone has managed to attract more than 300 registrations. On the 7th of December, just next week, we will have the first session of a new certificate titled The Future Schools 2030. This in collaboration with our partners. And there are already 450 school managers and school principals are registered in the certificate from UAE and from international community. The future certificate, the future school certificate, is part of a comprehensive education program that aims to support school management, teachers, and students in UAE and the region. We also will be running the winter school camp. We will have a plan, we're working on it now for Ramadan nights. Last year we ran many workshops during Ramadan nights, and we were received by the community. This time we will make it more comprehensive. And we have so many activities on the schedule that we will be running very soon to our community. So we are pleased that you have attended this certificate. We hope you have found it useful. You have gained some knowledge, different perspectives, or at least you had a chance to think about the way you do your operations and you reflect on it and you hear some other opinion and expertise from other members. So thank you again for your participation, and we hope to see you in the future workshops. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hamad, for the opening remarks. Thank you for the inspirational words. And now, can you just give us a brief about the survey which participants are going to go through?
Yeah, today we have a more interaction discussion, and we have a program for you. We'll start by getting your inputs on certain areas, and we're having some discussion on it. Dr. Shireen and Alison will be helping you with that one. Then we will have a summary of your reports. We had received many reports from you, and we went through that one, we analyzed those, and we selected certain things to discuss it. So they will be moderating it, Dr. Shireen again and Alison, they will moderate that one. And at the end, we'll have few closing remark. I need from you also some feedback about these workshops. Will take around 5 minutes to complete it. So now back to Dr. Shireen and Alison. The first question we have for you, Menti.com. You've been looking at it or using it. This is how you can join. You need to get your phone, open your camera and point it to this QR code. Then it will pop up something on your screen. You click on it, it takes you to a page where you start getting ready. Or otherwise, you go to your phone and enter menti.com, and then it will ask you to enter a code, something like this. So you enter this code 6241952. So these are the two options to join. Once you join, then you need to start giving your inputs. And we can see many of you already in. Dr. Shireen and Alison, the floor is yours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, good afternoon and welcome to my fellow HR professionals. And if you're not an HR professional, the mere fact that you attended this session really shows that you have human resource close to your heart. Well, welcome to the last module of module 6 of what has been an exciting time and what a year it has been for human resources all over the world. It has been a year where we've had to push ourselves, think outside the box. We have taken on different roles. We've been social workers, we've been psychologists, we've been psychiatric, we've done so many over the last 8 months. So I want to congratulate every one of us here that, we've really stepped out of our comfort zones and we have really stepped up and worked beyond the call of duty during this pandemic. So while we look at the results that are coming in from our survey that we're doing now, let's look to see, where, the focus is, which of the following business describes your industry. So we can see, I think the highest category we have, it's 46%, and that falls on the others. So it shows that there's not just, one sector that is focusing on HR and also focusing on how people adapted during the pandemic. It's very diverse. So, for Dr. Shireen, do you want to comment on, why, others are so high other than the ones that we identified, banking and finance, traditional industries such as banking and finance, education, healthcare, the government industries. Yeah, so.
I can say, thank you, Alison. I can see that the others are 48%. Maybe we can hear from the participant the industries which they are coming from, because I can see that the second category is education. Third category
is healthcare.
Healthcare, yeah, and also we have government, banking, and finance. So even in the chat, they can write for us which industry they are belonging in. This could help us in clarifying the 46% construction. Yes, I can see that some of the panelists are some hospitality and tourism. Yes, this is also a major sector, hospitality and tourism, and booming now in the UAE. Yes, oil and gas, true.
Yes, oil and gas.
So we have construction, oil and gas.
Yes. Yeah, we do have somebody from construction.
Hospitality, yes, aviation. Yeah, see, we have a diverse of industry sectors. Very good. So the results or the impact of the pandemic, we can measure it from different perspective and its impact on different industry types. This is great. So now we can analyze, or we can understand why do we have 42% of the others.
Yes, okay. So the next question is, on a scale of 0 to 5, how would you rate the coronavirus, COVID-19, as a challenge to your organization in the following areas? Coordinating a corporate response, employee stress, managing daily operations, sales impact, recruiting. So Dr. Ahmed, have you opened the survey for this one?
Yes, it is open. You can see the numbers are coming up.
Wow. Wow. This is extremely good response. This is an extremely good response.
It's a little bit early. We have only
It's
7 days.
adjusting.
Yeah, it's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the previous one, we had 23 people who participated. We need to see
Yes.
more. We have 80
Yes,
people
it's going up. It's 50. Yes, it's going up now. Yes.
We are encouraging all of you to participate just to make this session more interactive and
Interactive.
engaging.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, pharma. This is another industry sector. I can see still the participant is writing down their industry sectors.
Yeah, that's good. Employee stress seems to be really high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still going. We still have some votes coming in.
Yeah.
But the changes are a little bit small. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe you can go ahead and summarize this one and maybe get some feedback from the participants.
Okay, so looking at employee stress, I would like to just ask a quick question. How many companies have actually done an EAP, an employee assistance program during this time, and have companies actually employed counselors or psychologists to help employees through this time? Can we have some feedback through the chat on that question? Seeing that employee stress has been the highest, can you explain, just explain a little bit more in terms of just saying if you did an EAP or if you've done if your employer employed a counselor or a psychologist and made them available to staff.
Yeah, I see one hand up, but this hand,
Yeah.
Vifo, I think Vifo, you raised your hand at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
Are you still wanted to raise it? If you want to raise it again, please raise it again, then we'll allow you to speak. If any of the participants want to contribute, please raise your hand. We will give you the microphone.
Okay. I see Nof had a very interesting comment. Can we unmute Nof and have her inputs a bit? Yeah. Nof
She
alarm.
needs
Nof
to
alarm.
raise her hand first.
Okay.
You see her hand
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah, she is here. Now.
Yes.
Hi, doctor.
Hi,
Hi.
Nof.
Yeah, as I was saying, in our company, even if when we had online meetings, because the employees were so stressed about the whole pandemic thing, they started to make some meetings as everyday briefings. They talk about how we should be positive and how we always should hope for a better future. We should have a trust for this country and its government, and how everything is just gonna get better, and that's what kept us going. As much as we were stressed and we were scared and we didn't know what to do and we were pressured, but at the end of the day, these meetings it helped us to continue. Till now, they're still doing it. Now we're better. The employee stress has decreased a lot, but it's still going. So that was a great actually change in our company.
That's great. That's great.
Those meetings were informal or formal meetings?
Yeah, they were actually formal. Like every day morning, they would actually take a full hour just talking to people, giving them positive energy. Like just spend this whole hour just talking to them. Try to just let them just relieve the stress out of their minds. Let them just talk about everything positive. They just fill us with a positive energy that makes us forget about the whole pandemic, and then we come back stronger to work.
Very important. Very important.
We
I see
have
Hasna.
also Hasna, yeah.
Yes. Hi, everybody. We had also a regular meeting with the employee. We had meeting with the QHSE department led by the QHSE department to explain about the pandemic. We hosted also doctor from known hospital in Abu Dhabi to explain about COVID and the symptoms and what people they have to do to boost their immune system and where to go if they feel that they have symptoms. Okay. And it was very important to us to be very accessible to our employees in terms if they needed clarification concerning, the regulation, the restriction, the quarantine, the self-isolation. So we had continuous communication with the employees at all times. And of course, there is this campaign that was launched by Abu Dhabi Department of of community development. And this capital emergency crisis, it's you matter. And we had a leaflet everywhere with the hotline, so employees can contact the concerned people in all languages. So we put it in our offices, we put it in the campus, we put it everywhere. So people, they will know exactly if they need to talk about uh, any concerns, where to reach. So the HR, the QHSE, the U Matter, even the line managers. So this is what we've done in our company.
Okay, very good, very good. I see Romel has raised his hand also. Romel, would you like to contribute?
Yeah. Hi there. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes, Romel.
Excellent. Yeah. So I'm a psychologist by profession, although I'm teaching, in the university now. So I propounded a service like I call it the mental health kit for the employees, from which on a weekly basis, starting off last March, we have this mental health round table discussion wherein we have launched series of workshops, webinars regarding how to promote mental health in the workplace. But other than that, the ultimate, output was that the employees need to understand that whatever they're feeling in terms of stress, or maybe some sort of, if they would sense there are several symptoms of mental issues that they're confronted upon, knowing that them or their family members are sick of COVID, they can seek for a hotline wherein we have this psychological first aid to be given. It's in the form of counseling, tele-counseling, in a way that they can be, assisted upon whichever time and day that would be. So that's one of the projects I've launched in my community. Thank you.
Thank you, Romel. Thank you, Romel. That's extremely good. And I like the psychological first aid. I think that is something that most companies need to be doing now, post the pandemic, because people will have after symptoms something called PSTD. People will have those kind of effects coming out of the pandemic, because we will still be unsure of what the future holds, and any slightest virus comes out, it will set us back some. So we need to be aware of these things and try to implement them as quickly as possible in our organization. So we're ready for the next step. But the next step is post-pandemic symptoms. So we move on to the next question.
On a scale of 0 to 5, how would you rate the coronavirus as a challenge to your organization in the following areas?
Hiring decisions and job offers, onboarding new employees, interruption of business travel, interruption to learning and training. Interesting to see these results.
Very.
Yeah.
True. Oh. 100, there is no travel for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the interesting thing, the interruption to learning and training, but during pandemic, we took a lot of training. For example, at the university, the faculty took a lot of training regarding how to use the different softwares and to convert the normal face-to-face teaching mode to a digital one, virtual one. So we took trainings.
From a few sessions I've attended, via SHRM, via Hayes, what I've found is that the education sector has not taken a hit in terms of learning and training, or learning and development, but other sectors, because of course budgets were slashed. So training had to take on a more informal route for employees who want to push forward for training. And it's curious to see, I'm curious to see how this will move up, if this will shift closer to business travel as we look at it here, or if organizations did indeed invest in their employees during this time.
Also, Alison, maybe some of them are talking about learning and training, practical or empirical trainings, like the simulations and things that required lab and things maybe in the healthcare sector and so on. So I think, yes, education not much, but maybe those sectors that being impacted.
Yeah, yeah.
Hiring, for sure, we stopped hiring for a quite period of time.
Yeah. So let's look at the hiring decisions and job offers. We have a 2.9% response to that. Would anyone like to comment on that? Especially in Abu Dhabi, in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, where we know we've had a lot of issues with the government relations side in terms of visas and things like that. Would anybody like to comment? Anyone from the HR departments that are with us today? Would anyone like to share? Okay, Tariq Azam. Tariq, can you give us your input on how your organization dealt with hiring and the lack of job offers issued by Ministry of Labor?
Good evening. Good evening
Hi,
all.
Tariq.
Yeah, I have opted also, the mid-range for the hiring decision and job offer. Since, see, the decision why it is making a tough call, since doctor also said like hiring is zero, means we are not hiring. But during the pandemic, even the pre-pandemic, we have a lot of employees, those who are on vacation, they're on the leave out of country. While the pandemic comes, the flights and the the traveling ban, so we need to fulfill that that criteria, that staff, that workmen. For that, the decision for the job offers and the decision for hiring, we need to take place. And we have hired from the local market, means UAE and all the countries are doing the same, and we are looking for the talent within the country, and we are hired. So it is in the mid range, not 5, not 0, but it will be in the 2 to 3. That's why I opted 3.
Okay.
So it seems to be that the situation was good to certain people.
Of course, I see. As a contracting company employee, I'm the HR for the contracting company. So we have the the fluctuation of employees. Talent we need to retain is very tough, because the similar nature of companies are there. We need to retain the employees. That is very hard to achieve. So even now also we are facing, because see, people are going one company to other company, and that's very hard to keep the talent, retain the talent. That is a major task for the HR, retaining the manpower, retaining the people.
All right. Thank you, Tariq.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Hasna?
Yes, concerning the hiring, okay, last year we have worked out our manpower planning. However, with the COVID and with the pandemic, everything has to be revised. We had so many decisions that we just kept on hold because the managers and GMs, they were not very clear about the future. They didn't know how their business will be impacted. So we had to hold the recruitment and the hiring of even very important
Positions.
exactly. Okay, so this, yes, in fact, impacted us. However, and within this, we were able to manage specifically with the talent that we have inside the company.
Okay.
Now, also the protocol of getting the approval to get a new person into the company has to go through multiple process of approvals. And we need to submit a business case determining, for example, the opportunities that we'll be losing if we don't hire, the cost that we'll be losing, or the cost that is involved in this position. So yes, it is challenging, and it did impact the COVID-19 concerning the hiring talents. Plus, if we do speak about a business that was planning to expand, and it did not happen because of the impact, so it was frozen, okay? Or if we take into consideration business that was really impacted, and then we needed to make people redundant. So it did have impact on our manpower.
Yeah, thank you, Hasna. Thank you, Hasna, for that. There's one thing I want to comment on that you said there, that you had to look from within your organization and fill some of the positions from within. That I commend your organization for, because sometimes we overlook the talent that is within the organization. So I want to commend you for that, and maybe out of this you will start building a succession plan for more strategic positions moving forward. That's
Yes,
will be a planning aspect coming out of the pandemic that you can build on. So thank you, and I do commend your organization for actually looking for talent within and promoting those people in to fill those positions. Yeah, thank you. Ahmed?
Yes, hello.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Yeah. Actually, for my organization, we have been impacted that we have a project in Abu Dhabi, and we wanted we usually using outsource, and the project we are working on is currently over budget, and so we try to use hiring from outside the country. So we had to pay for visit visa for the new candidates, and after they come, we had to pay also for the hotel accommodation and their food. After that, we for the quarantine 14 days. Then we will start the normal process to hiring. Yeah, onboarding and other. Actually, it has been a very huge challenge. Now, besides the normal hiring process and the duration, you have to add 20 days only to arrange the visit visa and the quarantine.
Yes, yes, exactly. From giving you a little bit of my organization, of course, Abu Dhabi University, we hired as much as we can from within the country, but of course we have some specialized positions that we had no one in the country from other universities who were willing to join us. So we went overseas, and that was a feat in itself, because of course with no visas being issued, we had to bring people through Dubai, and bringing people through Dubai, it meant that they had to quarantine in Dubai for a few days and then come to Abu Dhabi and continue that quarantine, and then also give them the time now to go out and shop to furnish their homes. So, you know, where you would have had an expense of just 10 days of covering a hotel bill, you now covering it for 30 odd days. So I can understand what you're saying, and those are things that we have to adapt to and think ahead. And moving forward, we have to think about the risks that, you know, we'll be, you know, incurring when we're hiring from overseas, and also understanding how the world is moving post-pandemic. Yeah. So, Hamid, would you like us to move to another slide now? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Hazma. In response to the coronavirus situation, which actions has your organization taken regarding business travel? Select all that apply.
I think the participants can see it clearly on their phone better than on the screen.
Yeah.
On the screen, okay.
Font little bit small here, but it appears in the. So far 25% everything and 0 and 2. Okay, changing. I think once it reaches around 25, then you'll find the changes become not significant. Yeah, that's something I'm learning from this one now. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Okay. Dr. Shireen, what do you think about this? We're at 28% for or restricted international.
It's restricted restricted international sales and business travel.
Yeah.
31%.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to be that it was cancelled.
Okay. All right, this is interesting, and
domestic, we have the domestic,
Yeah.
restricted domestic sales and business also.
Yeah, it's the
but
second.
that's more thing. Yeah, that's within the Emirates. It seems
Yeah.
impact was not big. Which actions has your organization taken regarding business travel?
Yeah, Dr. Srini, you want to add anything here or?
No, it's fine. We can just go to the following question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now this is the following questions.
In response to the coronavirus situation, has your organization altered remote work policies? I can expect the answer. Yes. I think we need to hear from the no, not the yes.
Also, I think also the yes, what the changes being made onto this.
Yeah. So does anyone would like to comment from the no category or the yes?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, actually, from my point of view, I think it's more, depending on the industry or the work nature. For example, if you are working in a construction field, it's not possible as much as in, for example, in the education field. We have only some tolerance in some positions, like people in quality or some schedulers or document controlling or something like this. But all the engineers have to be in site most of the time. All the technicians have to be in the site most of the time. Like this project manager are the same. But the other positions could be. But like I mentioned, it depends on the core of the business.
Maybe the administrative work and tasks can be done remotely than the practical type of work. So it impacts the work. It is based on the different, as you said, the different tasks, the different responsibilities, the industry. It could differ from one industry to another and one type of job to another as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You have also Hasna.
Oh, Hasna.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Hasna.
Hi. Okay, so we went from, policy that we did not allow people to work from home to a policy restricting people working from the office. And then we just followed the regulation of the government. Essential people, these people that they have to be at work, okay, to be productive, they had to be at work, okay? So people working in the warehouse, in the workshop, people working in the production field, they have to report on daily basis to work. If not, all the office-based employees, if they do have the equipment, the connection, the Wi-Fi, they've been asked to work remotely. So this is what we've done in our company.
Also, Alison, I would like to add that, for example, some sectors like the healthcare sector, they need to go to work. They need to go to the hospitals and work. So they don't have any remote work.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
it is impacting the work from different.
Yeah, and just to pick up on what Hasna said, in terms of, most organizations within the UAE had a full hands-on policy where everyone had to be in the office or in a physical environment, a brick and mortar building. And then now we switched to no one in the office for a few months and then to a percentage. And HR was scrambling to create policies now so that, you know, that organizations can understand fully what is needed from employees and how to make sure employees are safe. So, you know, it just shows how dynamic the HR profession has become, because you know, you just run around trying to create policies that were all encompassing to cater for everything with no guidance, with no precedents, because we didn't have precedents from the last pandemic 100 years ago. You know, all companies had to run around and try and create these remote work policies. It's interesting to see, though, as we move out of the pandemic, to see how these policies will be altered now to suit the new work, the new way of life. Because more and more companies are realizing that people are more productive working from home, and also that employees feel more empowered when you allow them to work from home at their own time and on their own pace. It would be interesting to have another session like this post-pandemic to see how companies have evolved post-pandemic.
What I like of what you said, that you said the policies, we've been dynamic and we've been flexible as well, because I think that the policies are changed while the situation is changing as well. And from August till now, the situation is different. So the policies should cope and to be adaptable with the current circumstances. So dynamic and flexible as well.
Yes, and flexible,
Do you believe your employees are ready to make great use of your digital learning to meet the learning needs? This is a very good question.
Yes, for HR, especially.
Yeah. I think digital learning is becoming a main part of the learning needs now for each employee.
It's interesting,
Yes.
It's amazing how many people have now got onto LinkedIn platform or to other platforms, and SHRM has launched a training, and Hayes they've launched online training. So a lot of companies have redefined themselves and open up new avenues of business that they didn't have before. HR companies too have done that. A lot of recruitment companies have moved on to learning platforms, signed up with different organizations to help them, you know, reach their target markets.
I'm wondering why we're not seeing any results yet. Is it because of my slide is not changing? Okay, let me see if I go back to it. And now it should. You didn't see it on the screen? Yeah, now this.
Yes, it's coming up now.
Yeah. Yeah, good. It's,
Yeah, although we noticed that the learning in one of the questions before is the one that was having some challenge, or in one of those answers.
But at least now there should be a minimum level of digital learning. And each one of us, even the people who are working in the fields or in the healthcare sector, they need to have a minimum learning abilities and skills of at least how to go to meetings, use the computer in meetings, video calls, and
I think this question is clear that people are benefiting it, and that's what expected. If people will get benefit from the digital learning.
This actually links to our next outreach program, Dr. Hamad, in the sense that the next session that we'll be running from ADU would be the future school, you know, and how digital learning will be the main focus, you know, will be the main mode of learning and teaching. So this question really fits in, you know, really pushes us to think about how we'll be learning in the future and how our kids and our grandkids will be learning in the future. And even so, you know, us as professionals right now, will we be leaving our homes or offices to go to an actual training session, or will we be doing it from our desks? So, how will it work in the future, and it's very interesting, very interesting. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last question on this survey.
Yeah.
Now we back to the report.
Yeah. Now the second part of this session that we send you a report to fill, and we use the word cloud in order to summarize and compile all your response. As you can see, for example, the question related to describe the overall HR strategy that your company have implemented during COVID-19. So in front of you, the major inputs of your response, like the employees working from home, COVID-19 management, remote policies. So we use the word cloud in order to compile all your inputs. We also extracted some of the answers of those questions in your report, and we're going to discuss it now. We will invite the participant who filled those questions and answer it to elaborate more on those answers. So we have with us Dr. Ahmed Talat Tawfiq. Dr. Ahmed, if you are with us today, so can you just give us a brief or a comment on your answer?
You muted, Dr. Ahmed. Yes. Yeah. Dr. Ahmed?
He's with us?
Yes, he's there. He's there.
Okay.
And he's unmuted too, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe he has some technical issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay. We can.
Does anyone who would like to comment on the strategies, the HR strategies implemented in your companies? If you would like to participate, comment, share with us.
Yeah. I think if we look at Dr. Ahmed's input, he focused on working from home. That strategy has component important for working from home. The productivity of the employees, looking at the weekly report and ensuring employees should did COVID-19 test regularly, and special people working at office within 30% as by the regulations. These are the main things I think they were looking at.
Implemented, yes.
Yeah. Okay, we can go on to the next one.
I have Hassana wanted to say something on this one.
Okay, Hassan.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, for example, the high-risk people, employees, okay, have been asked to stay, to work from home, age more than 55%, 55 years old, okay, they've been asked also to work from home. And then we've been asked by the government to call any employee who's aged more than 55 and give them the possibility to fly outside. If they want to go outside the country for 3 months, which is unpaid leave, this was mandated by the government. So we've done this. So we follow the restriction. The high-risk employee, people suffering from diabetes, from asthma, respiratory problems, from cancer, from very chronic diseases, have been asked to stay home. There is no need for rotation, because the remaining 30%, we build up 2 teams, Team A and Team B. And these 2 teams, they have never to interact physically with each other at all. They don't have to see each other. So in case, this is for business continuity. So in case if there is a member in Team A gets infected by COVID-19, we will isolate all the rest of the team. However, Team B can still come to the office and work. So this is what we've done.
Yeah.
This is smart.
Yeah, that's very, very smart. And that allows the organization to continue running You know, even if you had one infection and you had to shut down one team, that
You
was a
have plan B. All of the time you have a plan B.
Exactly. This
Yes.
is to keep business continuity. Right.
What's the name of your organization, Hannah?
Masroe International.
Okay. Which sector?
I take care of the energy services. However, it is diversified portfolio. We have retail, we have healthcare, okay. But my main concern is about the energy services.
Very good. We're
Okay.
proud of you.
Okay. So we have a comment here from Laura Coleman. Laura, the majority of employees now work from home, depending on their department and job role. This enables the continuation of work remotely. Meetings and collaborations are done virtually and through various software available. We also work with our own QHSE department to implement safety measures for all employees, for the ones that do have to be present on the floor for our visitors. We continue to do so to ensure everyone's health and safety during COVID-19. Now, Laura, are you here? There are questions that, you know, I would like to ask. First of all, she's not sure she can talk right now. Okay, said she's not able to talk right now, but she's made a comment here. She said, I'm not able to talk right now, but since the Louvre Abu Dhabi opened, we also work the same way as Hasna mentioned. Our visitor service team also work in separate teams. Great, and that was one of the questions I wanted to ask Laura. You know, how did the Louvre or Louvre, you know, how was it affected during the pandemic, and you know, in terms of your exhibits and artifact that you have, how was it protected? Because some of those things, you know, have to be cleaned and maintained, and how were you able to keep that up, even though employees were not expected to go to the premises? The reason why I asked that is because I was just looking at a documentary about aquarium in South Africa, and they were talking about how they worked during the pandemic. They shut it down and they just had a selected few of people go in to, you know, to give the animals the necessary walk and the penguins walking and things like that. So I wanted to know, it would be nice if we could share that with the panel, how the Louvre, you know, really operated during that time. Okay, she's done between March and July.
She replied through the chat. You can see her.
Yeah, I'm reading it here. So our security team was still on the floor, as well as the curators and okay, that's good. So the curators were still able to go into work and do what they had to do, and they was tested frequently since they had to come to the museum. Very good, very good.
The tourism sector was impacted negatively by the COVID-19. Yeah, this is one of the major sectors that was impacted dramatically by the COVID-19, the tourism and maybe the hospitality. And
Mr. Weil also talking about restricting visits to the office in the chat.
Okay.
For not to be in contact with clients and customers and suppliers.
Yeah.
But Laura, I have one question. Don't you have a virtual tour of the Louvre? Do you have virtual tour for the Louvre Museum? Oh, okay, you have. Did you use that during the months which you shut down? Did you use the virtual tour? How often it was used? Okay, they start by 4-person maximum tomorrow. So good luck.
Yes.
I'll move to the next one.
Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you for your contribution. Yeah.
Yeah. We have Mr. Abdurrahman. He mentioned that they implemented the government guidelines in compliance with the preventive and precautionary measures of COVID-19. Also, the workers' accommodation management and diversification of accommodation units. I think also one of the major issues was the accommodation of the workers. I think it was not easy to handle the accommodation of the workers. And they continue doing virtual or online town hall meetings with the senior leadership team to stay or to remain connected with the employees. So those are also some of the basic or the important actions that most of the organization undertake during the pandemic. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Now the challenges. Alison?
Yeah. What are the top 3 challenges your employees faced while working from home? Yeah. So, we use the cloud effect here to, to really capture some of your responses. And, we can see those that are highlighted there, casework, employees, office time, home.
Children.
Yes, children, definitely children. Challenging from, it has a varying internet availability, communication, meetings, staying organized, trying to stay professional while you're in a home environment, having security training for online things. It's amazing the challenges that we take, the things that we take for granted, and only when we're pushed, then we realize that, some of them are really challenges. Because internet is something we take for granted at home, but now when we have everyone, I remember when school reopened in March and all the kids were online, the internet crashed completely in my area. The internet crashed completely. And then when we called 101, they said, ma'am, apologies, the whole system has crashed in your area. And that included the university and where I live, which is just about 2 or 3 kilometers away from here. So, it just showed us that, even though the government and the country and even at home, you think you're prepared, infrastructure was not fully there. So I want to go back to, I think the first person we had was Sohail. If Sohail is here, I'd like you to, comment or explain a little bit more about your comments if you're here. You can do it via chat or you can do it by speaking. Employees are not trained for the digital transformation. It wasn't much effective due to the virtual training sessions. It was not easy to convince the students to adapt to virtual learning environment. Internet connection, productivity, availability, yes. So Sohail, would be interesting if you're here because I see you're actually from a university. It would be nice to have your comments in terms of how you adapted and what you used to really convince the children, to students actually, to learn, to move to the virtual learning environment. I don't think we have Sohail here today.
He is here, but I think maybe he has an issue with connecting. I can see his name there. Just people who want to talk, please raise your hands. I don't want to just unmute you when you are not ready. If you raise your hand, that means you're ready, so I can give you the microphone.
So Dr. Hamad, can you comment here a bit on this particular aspect in terms of one of the challenges being connectivity and how students adapted easily or not so easily to converting to virtual learning environment, and your perspectives on how faculty adapted to that? Can you share that with us a bit?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the one who can make it work really is the faculty. So the institutions who wanted to get e-learning to work, or distance learning, or virtual, or synchronous learning, all those names, they have to invest in training faculty or the people who will be offering the training. In some companies, there are people who run training for the employees. Those people need to be ready. If the faculty is not ready and doesn't know how to use technology, they don't have some practices and teaching methods and ways of engaging the audience, then the student will get lost. Most of the students nowadays, they are really good at technology. They are always on video call and all those things. This is not an issue for them. But the way just to manage them and get them to go through a certain design of the curriculum and delivery and ensure they are participating and engaged instead of leaving the session and playing a game while the session is going on. These are challenges. The only one who can help with it is the faculty or the teacher who will be running that session.
Okay.
And investing in the faculty is the core one in this, in my opinion.
And also, I would like to add that Mr. Suhail is saying that it was not easy to convince the students to adapt to virtual. Now, if you ask all students, they don't want to return face to face. They like the virtual learning environment because, as Dr. Hamad said, they get used to it, and it became something normal for them, and they like it so much now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Dr. Shireen, yeah.
Yes, we have Mr. Abdurrahman again about the challenges. He said the work-life balance. I think, yes, this is a point which we really need to elaborate. There is no there is no limit between the working hours and the home
Hours.
hours. Also, the second issue is the cybersecurity concerns. So I think we need the IT specialist now to to just give us comments on this point. And there was a challenge in reaching out to external entities. Example, the MOECHI. I think this is maybe for hiring and for employee legal cases and so on. So there was some difficulties in connecting with some governmental entities in the UAE. So point number one,
Yeah.
We have
work-life balance.
Dr. Huda has.
Hida and Karen, both of them. I'll give them the microphone.
Very good. Dr. Huda.
Dr. Huda first.
Yeah.
Actually,
Welcome.
hello everybody. Hi, Dr. Shireen and Dr. Muhammad. Actually, I would like to emphasize on the one of the challenges. Actually, I've heard many times from others, the work-life balance, especially the mothers. That was really the period was very hectic to them. Balancing the online studies and at the same time their work. So I think, I don't know, in the future we should tackle it in a way, teaching the mothers, because I'm sure that this will continue for a period of time. Mothers should have sort of new techniques and and the tips to handle such cases in the future. It was very, unprepared situation that happened to them. So they were really under a lot of pressure, which pressurized also the family and the members and the kids as well. So maybe it's an idea to be, given to the university to think over in the future, to have, a course or a session that helps mother to handle such situation in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's very
Thank you, Dr. Huda.
important and valid point.
Karina?
Yes, good evening, all.
Good evening, Karina.
I just want to add to whatever my colleague mentioned just recently. I see it's not only the mothers who need to be educated, to be honest, because we were in this situation since March. We need an extra help, to be honest, from our companies and from the government rules and regulations to support working moms. As you may know, we have been through this online e-learning since March. We have this. Obviously, we are working from home, but we're working on a flexible working hours. So obviously, we will not be sitting in our offices or in our desks from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. or till 6 p.m. We need to have shifts to assist our family members, to sit with our kids and teach them during the online sessions. So obviously, this is continuous till sometimes 12 a.m., 1 a.m., because we obviously do have some kind of obligation toward our work and toward our clients who could be our employees, who could be a third party as well. And sometimes that lasts till Fridays and Saturdays as well. So what I was thinking is, because this is something that will continue for almost maybe for the next year as well. So we need to have more support from the companies in terms of the rules and regulations, from the government as well. Thank you.
Yeah, true.
Thank you.
I do agree with Karina.
Yes. Oh, well, we all do. We It's just about, you know, Karina has raised some very good points, and Dr. Huda. It's just HR professionals and also the regulatory bodies within the UAE finding the right balance and finding exactly what do they need to do to support employees or support mothers more. You know, should they leave it up to the organizations or the companies, or should they make it into law that there's certain things that has to be done during this pandemic as people work remotely and try to get their kids organized? The question, you know, and I'm sure that's the question that is facing the government. Should they leave it up to companies or should they mandate it? And that is a challenging question. And then what should they mandate? How will they mandate it? And you know, it's very, very fine line to tread, and government and companies really have to come together and sit at the table and discuss the best way forward, because mothers do need support and mothers do contribute very significantly to the workforce. And so, you know, they do need support at this time, and I agree with that completely.
Yeah, and also, Alison, time management. I think all of us, we took the regular training of time management, but time management during virtual or remote working is totally different.
Totally different.
How we can manage our time during remote work? I think this is a topic. This topic is really important. How to manage our time during remote working. I think this is could be.
Yeah, it's very important, and as Dr. Huda and Karina said, this is where organizations need to understand it. Whereas you would have said to someone, can you finish this in a day? You need to give that person an extra day, because they'll be doing it by night after they have sat with their kids during the day. So their day is now become night. So you're expected by the end of that work day, they may give it to you by the beginning of the next work day, because you know they've taken that day to sit with their kids to ensure that the kids are learning online. So that's the organizations need to be a bit flexible. But of course, we know some organizations are not like that, and that's where the government will come in form of legalizing it or making it a law or mandating companies to respect that for working mothers.
I agree.
Okay, the other slide, Muhammad Rajiv, I think he has very, very important 3 points, similar, I think, to the previous one in some aspects. Like there is no limit for work, you work, and balancing work and life is a challenge. Video conference cannot replace face-to-face, although they have done good things. And the last thing is staying in shape. Yeah, we're sitting on desk and working on computers for a long time without moving or doing any activities that will not be good.
Yeah,
we gained a lot of weight, huh? We gained weight. We put weight.
Yeah. And like, for instance, my company, if I can add a little bit to what Mohammed did, what we did at Abu Dhabi University is that we shared a lot of exercise links and a lot of links that people can stand behind their chairs and do some exercises and do. I think there was a program called HIT, HIIT, and then our sister department, student affairs department, they had an online Zumba class that you can do just standing behind your desk, standing behind your chair, or wherever your setup is at home. So, you know, organizations do have to play a role. They do have to set aside some time for physical and mental health for everyone. And you know, we really have to push that more and more as we go back to our organizations and try to get them to understand that we just can't expect people to sit behind a computer for 9 hours, in some cases 10 hours a day. You have to give them a chance to, you know, move a leg or you know, touch the toes and make that part of the day. You know, it shouldn't be done outside of your work day. No, you have to try and incorporate that into the 8 hours for people to get up and do some physical activity, and also to move away from the blue screen. Yeah, the constant blue screen. Yeah. So I think where are we at? Oh, Safraz?
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Shireen?
Yes. the few biggest challenges mentioned by Mr. Safras, staying organized. Employees faced that keeping their computer disk very tidy, spending a small amount of time a day organizing folders and so on. Number two, this is what I mentioned, time management. Schedule of work in the office like a normal day. It's difficult for employee to manage time. And also social interacting. Yes, there was no social interaction. I think all of us, we shared the same challenges mentioned by Sarfraz. True?
Yeah. It's Safra's here with us. Just to go back a second, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Safra's here.
Sarfraz?
It doesn't seem like he's here. The reason why I wanted to call him out is because the organization he works for is Ministry of Climate Change.
Okay.
And, you know, we discussed this between us when we spoke about climate change, and we talked about, okay, fine, we had a lockdown where people weren't using their cars, nobody was going out. How did it affect the weather? How did it affect the air that we breathe? That's why I would have really liked for Safras to be here to give us a little bit of input in terms of the recent reports. But anyhow, we can yeah, Safras is not here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So we
think
can,
it's less pollution.
yes.
And the COVID-19 has its positive impact on the environment and the climate. No airplane, no boats, no
Yes.
trains, no using cars. So I'm sure, but I read a report a few days ago that it reduces the pollution everywhere, and the planet became more healthy. But
Yes. Yeah.
but a
Yeah.
lot of people
As,
passed away.
yeah. I mean, at the beginning of the pandemic, we saw in Dubai, there were some endangered animals that actually came into the canal because there were no boats going, you know, there was no pollution, no oil in the water, no fumes. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Yeah. Those were the early days. I know new things are happening, but it's just that people are maybe not promoting them as much now.
Yes, some of these things are not really authentic, or this information. Some of it didn't happen, and people use social media to report things. I'm sure because cars are not moving, the CO2 and other things that they did has been reduced. But some of the reports we see sometimes they are not really the right reports.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Yes.
Hasina, this is yours.
Yes.
Yeah, and Hasna is here. Yeah.
So we learned, yes, after the pandemic and asking people going to work from home, that yes, people can work from home. Because before people, they had different perception, okay? And many did not trust, even manager did not trust that people while being home, they can be productive and they can be performing. Now we're sure and confident that the productivity and performance did not suffer. And people, they've been able to deliver and do their daily tasks.
True.
Okay, yeah. So good communication and coordination is the key to success, which is very true. And the coaching and the briefing from the line manager is very, very important. So we've done this. We made people, for example, the instant messaging, okay, through MS Team. It is the coordination between the team. They felt a part of projects. We had a regular meeting with the managers. So people, they did not feel lonely. They felt engaged and motivated. And we learned also that the mental health of the employee is very, very important, especially with the pandemic and people feeling lonely, feeling that they cannot interact physically with each other, they cannot shake hands, they cannot have face-to-face meeting, they cannot travel, they cannot see their families. So this is very important also to keep them engaged, to keep them motivated. We had articles about the mental health in our newsletter. We had messages from the top management, which were very positive, encouraging, and we asked people to keep healthy life, eat healthy, exercise, connect virtually with people, come to the QHSE or the HR if they have any concern, and to boost their immune system, as I previously mentioned. So this is what we learned from the pandemic and the COVID-19.
Yeah. Excellent points.
Yeah, I think one lesson I learned that if we have done this session before when the COVID-19 started, it could have been maybe more useful. Yeah?
Yes.
It's again good to have it now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still good because we're not, the pandemic is not over. We're still adjusting to it. So we have Syed from, Syed, is Syed here? Okay, so Syed is actually from the hotel industry, from hospitality industry. And as Dr. Shireen mentioned before, this particular industry was impacted and still is being impacted severely by the pandemic. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more around that, Dr. Shireen.
Yeah, it was very obvious that the pandemic hit hardly the tourism and the hospitality sector, not only in the UAE but worldwide. People cannot travel, people cannot go to hotels and restaurants and so on. So I think this sector really suffered a lot from the pandemic. So hopefully that in the next few months after the pandemic, that this sector will revive again and try to boom another time. I would like also to mention something very interesting in Mr. Syed comment, that when they are going to hire new people, they are going to take into consideration people who can adapt to new situations and to be flexible to different kind of situations. So this is also something very important, because not all people can be adaptable to different situations,
Yeah,
it is worth mentioning. Yes.
yeah, maybe we need to move a little bit faster because we have only 13 minutes remaining.
Oh.
Okay, so Jamsi isn't here, but Jamsi spoke about be prepared for any situation at any time. And one of the things we wanted to discuss on this slide was risk. How do we identify risks moving forward, and how do we mitigate them? Has companies developed risk registers to see how they will mitigate risk, identify what risks came up, and how they solve them or resolve them during this time? And that's something we'd really like to push for companies to do, and actually advise companies to do even before the pandemic is over, is to set a risk register within your department and try to identify things that can go wrong and how will you mitigate them. It may be internet, it may be simple things as the office being locked down and you can't come to the office, maybe transportation being shut by the government. It may be simple things, but we would like to really stress the importance of having a risk register and identifying ways how to resolve it moving forward. Now I know that Huda, or Nuf has asked a question, and that question we'll answer a little more to the end, Nuf. But in answering that question, one of the things that you will have to consider is a risk register, and how will you think about addressing your employee needs moving forward out of the risk. So we the next question. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Ahmad. Yeah, what plans do you put in place for your employees? Yeah. Okay. So this is Dr. Huda.
Dr. Huda?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate?
Yeah, you're muted, Dr. Huda.
Yeah, okay, I'm fine. Yes, please.
Yes. Yeah, how are you? Yes.
I'm fine, yes. So this is regarding the
The plans. The
Yeah,
plans
what plans do you put in place for employees returning to the
when
workplace?
they return to workplace.
Yeah, actually, it differ now. Most of the organization have taken lots of procedure and strategies. In terms of the actually the I'll be speaking about the private sector. Since I'm from the private sector, we have given them a sort of a partial long leave to certain employees, and the other rest come to the office, and definitely a lot of procedures and in terms of checking the health certificate. We have our own checking system, a special machine that goes and making sure the temperature is okay. There are certain the procedure that was embedded actually from the health authority that we need to go through. And the good thing is about that, even the health authority, they used to come frequently and visit and check that are we following the procedures, and they do random checking also to the laborers and the employees that we have in the factory.
Thank you, Dr. Hoda.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
also adding to this, Dr. Shireen, you have mentioned about the restaurants and the food industry. Yes, honestly speaking, yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, we faced a lot of problems and challenges. Something was very new, and people were very terrified of even ordering the food. After a while, and after a lot of announcements through the health authority and making sure that the food should be delivered in a very proper and hygiene, considering the hygiene factor. I'm speaking from the restaurant perspective because I do have a chain of the food and beverage sectors. The delivery system worked very well, honestly. So it was an added, it was a positive toward changing the way that we used to have, like people coming to the restaurant. Now we use another way of using the technology and the delivery system, which actually helped a lot the food sector to progress. That was an added value, honestly to say. So the pandemic was a bit positive in this way.
Thank you, Dr. Hoda. Omar. Omar also mentioned some plans for the employees to return to work from their organization, that the maximum will be 50% of the workforce only, no paperless working environment. So they are considering sustainability in working environment. They have to do the test, and the line managers and the department heads will decide who will come and work face to face and who will stay and do remote working. So in coordination with HR, this is good.
Yeah. So
last part.
Yeah, the last part. Is Hind here? If Hind isn't here, we'll go to Hasna and share Hasna's comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hasna can, if she wants to talk a bit around her comments, yeah.
Hind.
Yeah, Hind is not here. So Hasna, would you like to talk about your response to this question? If you're still here. If not, we can go to Muhammad Laghari. If Muhammad is here, yeah. Oh, Hasna says she's here. Okay. Yeah, Hasna, do you want to have a short input?
You need to raise hand so we can find her faster.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so it's very important that the employees have the right equipment and tools to be connected from home. So we should be able to provide them with laptop, desktop. We did a survey at the beginning. We sent survey with questions to make sure that the employee have the Wi-Fi, the connection, that they have their spare office at home where they are feeling okay to work. So This is a must from the employee to make sure that the employees have the tools. The employees also should feel engaged by the line manager and their colleagues at all time. Like I already mentioned, either the regular meeting, the briefing, town halls, they should be updated and they should have in the news. They should feel part of the team. So, and we should trust the employees. We should trust
Yes.
them while they are working from home.
Yes. Yep.
And of course, yeah, send frequent survey to get the feedback, because there is always room for alteration, for modification, and to better the things.
Yes.
Hasna,
Thank you.
truly,
Thank you, Hasna.
I do respect your organization a lot. I like item number 4 and 5, to trust and to do survey to get the feedback of the
Exactly. Yes.
employees and
Thank
staff.
you, Dr. Shireen. Thank you.
You're welcome, Hasna.
Yeah. Very good. Is Muhammad Laghari here? Laghari. Rina, can you see if Muhammad is here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Maybe he can give us a brief.
Yes. Just a brief talk around your response.
Hello.
Mohammed? Yeah. Hi, Mohammed. How are you? Welcome.
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I didn't even know how to unmute. So I was waiting and then I suddenly saw this box. So yeah, so as I've written, you know, it's very interesting because in the past, we've actually been trying our best to do lots of digital stuff. In our organization, in fact, you know, we have operations in different parts of the world, and we set up what we called our teleconference rooms. And primarily, you know, it was meant to help people communicate with each other without having to travel as much. With the advent of this COVID pandemic, unfortunately, you know, people were just forced into it. And as a result, you know, we started doing all our meetings online. Now, in fact, I think we prefer doing it this way. You know, it's safer, it's better, it's more efficient. You know, we don't actually have to travel places and all. So it's actually, you know, it's actually something which has just completely revolutionized the way we work. We honestly think, I think this is probably the one of the very few positives out of this pandemic. But you know, it's very interesting. And as people have been saying all through the conversation today, I mean, we've not only gone digital, but we've also learned to trust our people. Yes, there are challenges in terms of managing people remotely. Lots of people, to be completely honest with all of the team here today, lots of people actually, at times they prefer working from home, and the managers might think, oh, you know, he just wants to stay home and take it easy. But in reality, they produce a lot of work. They have the flexibility of being home, doing lots of stuff other than work. So there's so much more work-life balance. There's so much more autonomy in terms of the people. So yeah, that's our experience.
I just like, thank you, Mohammed. And interesting that you say in terms of autonomy and people working from home, because, and to share my experience, I had a few medical appointments back to back, and I also had a few meetings back to back. And on my drive to the medical appointments, and even while waiting in the waiting area, I was able to attend those meetings. So I didn't have to ask my company for time off to go. And lose time. I was still able to contribute and work while, you know, commuting either to the facility or even while in the waiting room. So, you know, it's you know, we're still very productive while we're working remotely. So thank you.
That's a very interesting, experience that you shared, Alison, because I had something exactly the same where a family member was admitted in hospital. I had to sit and wait outside in the waiting area because, you know, just to be with him. And I was doing exactly the same. You know, I was on meetings, I was working while I was with my family. So very, very true. And that's how it is. Thank you so much.
It's made us very flexible. Thank you, Mohammed. And just before we move on, before we close the session, I just want to say, Dr. Hamad, I don't know if a lot of people know him from his roles that he has been since he has moved to the UAE. But one of the things that Dr. Hamad did at his previous organization is he introduced Zoom. And that was many years ago because his organization had 17 different locations, and people will travel and you have to have a company car to take you and this and that. And he introduced Zoom to that organization to say, we don't need to travel. We can all be in the same meeting, just in one conference room. And they introduced the technology room, as you've mentioned, Mohammed. So Dr. Hamad is one of the pioneers of Dr. Hamad is one of the pioneers of introducing virtual meetings into the UAE and into certain sectors in the UAE. So thank you, Dr. Hamad.
Thank you.
That great, introduction into the UAE.
So we looked at the distribution.
But I had to mention it, yes.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. We looked at the distribution of these technologies that people are using, and Microsoft Teams is number one, then Zoom, then comes, I think, Office 365, which again, Microsoft Teams is part of Office 365. But these are the technology, just for you to know what others are using. Here we looked at, is your company considering working from home beyond the COVID-19? And the most of it, 26 of those people said partially yes, and when needed is another 20 people, and no, only 13. I think the type of the sector we are in, maybe like, as you said, healthcare, you cannot allow them to work from home in this situation, otherwise nobody will serve people. And there are fully remote working, 2 companies who said will be working remotely again, and there are other options. Yeah, the last thing we need, this is the last comment. I think we had few comments from Dr. Ahmed. We have a comment from Laura again, and we have comment from Hasna. I think we will share this with you. You can go through it later. I just want to move you to the next final one, if you allow me. I need your feedback. We've been doing those workshops for now some good time, and we need to do many more. So we need quickly your feedback so we can improve this one and get it better in the futures. So the first question I have for you is here. Please rate your satisfaction with the sessions that you have attended in terms of quality of content, in terms of mode of delivery, and in terms of the interaction we had there. So feel free to give your feedback. I can, and you can see it on the screen. I think I will wait until I get at least 30 of you, then we can move to the next one.
I hope all of them will participate in this survey, Dr. Hamad, to learn. This will help us to improve.
If you feel, I know the results are good, but maybe you don't want to see it on the screen, I can hide it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so I think 30 is good. The others can continue doing that. The other thing is the video, audio, and presentation.
Thank you, Noof.
And we selected Zoom for this platform, and we use Zoom webinar because there are a large number of people. If you run a normal Teams or normal Zoom meeting, it becomes very complicated to control audio, and also it allows people to ask questions. We can also get registration and follow up with the teams. It has number of advantage. For sure, every technology, it has its strength and weakness, but we thought it's fit for purpose, and the quality of video and audio is, as you can see from your feedback, it seems to be good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. And then I'll go to the next one just quickly. This is the last one in terms of rating your satisfaction, and then after that we'll have only one two more questions that very simple to answer.
I think this is important questions, the time and the days of the session, the structure of the program, the modules, and the one.
We had a discussion among the team, what is the best time? And where during the working hours, can people get free time to do it? It should be after 5 p.m. We ran just a small survey with some companies, and most of them said 5 will be good. So we went for 5, but there is no best time. I know some people prefer during working hours, and they can get maybe released from their company to do this one like a professional development, and some they cannot. But we are willing to make other times if that really preferred. Okay. Thank you for the overall satisfaction. Now we'll move to this one. Now we want to run more programs on this. So we need to get to know from you, what are those programs that will be of interest to you and to your employees? Think of your company, you're serving your employees, and you think there are areas that you can do. I can see now on using digital technology, and although people had lots of experience and knowledge with that, but still maybe there are some areas maybe you can
work-life balance.
Time management, as you said, especially for working from home. That's maybe one of the things.
Strategic planning, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's very good suggestions, really.
Critical thinking. Good. Risk management also, maybe.
Yeah.
Here, risk management. Excellent. Mental health, yeah. Great. HR virtual employee engagement. Great ideas.
These are all good. I think we will work on them, and we will come back to you so you with some programs hopefully in the future. Maybe the last one. This is the last one. So any feedback that help us improve this one, and this will be really important to us to know, because we will take it seriously and we'll work on it and improve our program. Now, while you do this one, some of you may be wondering about the certificate, how you will receive the certificate. Now we're going through the attendance report we have, and we will go through also the reports you submitted for the which I sent you, I think, yesterday or before that. And we'll finish all this, and the certificate are ready in terms of the template and everything. So we'll start producing it. We will be sending it to you. I think most likely we'll be sending it through the mail, the embossed or something similar to that one, and you will receive it. So people who attended all the sessions, they will get the full certificate. Attended all sessions and submitted the report, you will get a certificate that lists all the modules. And then those who attended only one or two will get you an attendance certificate for that modules that you attended. So I hope you enjoyed these sessions, and really we feel it's a pleasure to have you with us, and we learn from you as you maybe benefit from some of our sessions, and we work as a team, and we're ready to work with your company on future project, on training specific for your employees, if that is needed. This is part of our mission and vision at Abu Dhabi University, and we would love to do that if needed.
Thank you, Dr. Hamad. And also, I would like to thank all the participants and to tell them that we need to stay in contact. We need to stay connected. Abu Dhabi University is your home. We can customize any program for you and your employees, as well as we have various master degree programs and doctoral degree programs also at Abu Dhabi University. So we are ready to, if you would like us to organize any information session to your employees regarding our academic programs, so also we are ready to do that. So we need to stay in contact. Also, I would like to thank all my colleagues who participated in delivering the modules and organizing this very distinctive HR enrichment certified program organized by Abu Dhabi University. Thank you, Dr. Hamad, for mentoring and coordinating all the program. Alison, thank you so much. Really, you added a lot of knowledge and you provided us with valuable comments. Thank you all. And now I think it's time to have a group photo to remember this nice moment together. So are you ready to take the group photo?
One thing we can do, if you want, we can promote you all to become panelists. So you will come on the screen. If you want to open your camera, please go ahead and open it so we can have a group photo. If you don't want that, that's still fine for us. You will run a gallery view. The gallery view will, as now you think familiar with Zoom maybe. So gallery view will show all the names, and then those people who want to start their photo or run the camera, or
you can open the camera.
You can do that.
If you would like to have a group photo, you can open your camera as well.
Dr. Shireen.
Yes, Dr.
This is Dr.
Yes,
how are you?
Dr. Hala, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't actually want to intervene in the fruitful discussions we had, because I'm from those who wanted actually to learn more about the topics of this program, and I have learned a lot actually from it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hope you all the best, and please provide us with more courses like this. And thank you for the organizers.
حاضرين دكتور عبد الله. وهابي I want to say happy National Day, وإن شاء الله دايما في سعادة ورخاء وتقدم وازدهار بإذن الله.
إن شاء الله. Thanks, Dr.
الله يخليك الله يخليك.
Okay, we had few screenshots, and this is nice. Who is sharing this nice desktop?
I cannot.
Whose screen is that?
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. IT has taken the photos.
Smile, get ready for another screen.
Smile, if you just open your camera and smile.
Yeah, good, thank you. And one more, because you have 3 screens to take.
Yes, open the cameras, please.
Yeah, I think having the names is good enough. We don't want to. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in the next certificate, inshallah.
Yes. Thank you so much, and have a lovely.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for the entire session.
Well, happy National Day.
Yeah, happy UAE National Day to you all guys as well.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining this program.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good evening, Doctor. Bye.
Good evening, Omar.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Ya Omar. Thank you so much. Really, yani, we need also to thank the staff
Thanks.
members, Rina and Omar, and also there are other people like Khulud, Yasmin, Uday is there. All of you, really, yani, thank you, thank you, thank you to the staff members of Abu Dhabi University who supported delivering this important and distinguished program. So thank you, Omar. Thank you.
Happy to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hamad.
I will be ending the meeting. Good night. Have a nice long weekend. Thank you
Bye,
again.
Rina. Bye, Rina. Thank you. Bye. Bye.